guard, number 11, Brandon Remmer. At post, number 14, Shirley Kumar. And at guard, number 50, Grace Contending. And coach of the Rattlers is Clayton Wilson, assisted by Rob Wilson. And now, Trojans fans, put your hands together. Here is the touchdown lineup from your SAIT Trojans. At guard from Calgary, Alberta, number 0, Rick Baker. At guard from Calgary, number 4, St. John's, Newfoundland. At guard, number 6, Haley Seller. At guard from Vancouver, number 11, Skylar McDonald. And from Free Hills, Alberta, forward, number 21, Ashley Bryant. Head coach of Trojans, folks, at this time, as you please rise to your knees, remove your hats and caps and join us in the Flame Boat Canopy.
What it do, and welcome to the ACAC Television Network. Joshua Adam Martha with Brett Lubowski as we get ready for the Medicine Hat Rattlers to take on the Woman of Troy from SAIT. Getting ready to start the season here today, Brett. This Woman of Troy team had a nice run up and down last season. Some familiar faces returning in Baker and Skylar McDonald, ready to take on this season.
Absolutely. This is my first time calling a basketball game here at SAIT. I'm really excited to be here. And what better two teams to kick this off? Two really evenly matched squads. At least from last year, they played each other twice back-to-back nights. Yeah. SAIT won the first one in overtime by 5, and then Medicine Hat came back the next night, winning by 3. So even though there's a lot of new faces, I expect a really, really tight matchup between these two clubs.
It's going to be a tight one between these two teams. This is the first game of the season, trying to figure each other out. Rattlers, Trojans, here we go to start off the season, and veteran coaches on both sides of the game here, Brett.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, that veteran leadership or that veteran mentality is really going to help them out here with a lot of new faces, like you mentioned earlier, on both squads. You know, they're really going to have to really just get settled into a nice routine here to get themselves comfortable into a new season.
You got veteran coaches and some veteran officials on the floor right now. And speaking about the floor right now, don't let your eyes fool you when you look at the court right now. No, we are not at the State Campus Center, nor will we be for a little bit. If you're coming to see a SAIT Trojans home game, we are here from the home of the Dinos, the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. And Medicine Hat misses their first shot. The Dinos will call this home for the foreseeable future, for at least the next few years.
Yeah, absolutely. SAIT Campus Center going to be going under some renovations here for the next at least 3 years here. So we're really looking forward to. We really appreciate them. We really appreciate the Dinos, playing host to us here for the next little while, and it's a great gym. So Yeah, we're happy to be here.
And so Baker gets the first basket. She played for, had a year off last year from the Trojans after playing there before. Straight take to the hole. Can't get that layup to fall there. Just falls out there for Ava Curl. Ava really showcased off her great defensive prowess last year, and you saw a good example of her defense right there. Trey from Medicine Hat can't get it. Hits the outside, inside of the rim there, and we have a foul on 14. That'll be on George. So she'll pick up her first foul of the game. Starting off early here. 8:45, 2-0 so far in this game, and everything's new here, and graphics are a little bit, still figuring those things out, so try to update you with the score as much as possible. Lawn Trey, no good. Fight for the rebound. Able to get it. Goes over the J, knocks it in. Nice jumper there. Knocked down by Sellers, returning again. So right now in this lineup, two familiar faces from last year with Sellers and Curl. Skylar McDonald returning to the team, and Baker. So some familiar faces in the Dinos lineup. 3 gets missed there, and a platoon swap coming in for the Rattlers.
You know what I love to see on that one? I love to see that offensive board, because that is something the Trojans really struggled with last year.
Yes.
14th in the ACAC in rebounds last season, whereas the Rattlers were all over the board last year, 3rd in rebounds per game. So love to see that early offensive board and really aggressive.
3, no good. Inside iron there. And it's a good point you bring up about the rebounding, Brett, because if you look on the bench right now, their best rebounder is a coach now in Rashina Fogo.
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely missing one of our better rebounders there as we put it home. That is Brooke Baker with 2 more.
Absolutely. Brooke Baker, strong take to the hole, and just like that, the Trojans are up 6-0. 4 points now for Baker. She leads the way for the Trojans early on in this affair. The Trojans are showing some dominance on both sides of the ball in this one. Really happy to get Baker back. She took a year off from the Trojans last year, but she's back, and she is showcasing off her talent in the best way. Well, actually, I suppose they had her in the first half of the season. I don't think they had her in the second half of the season, if I'm not mistaken. So happy to have her and Skylar McDonald back. Obviously, one face you're not seeing on that right now is a near wall. I was told, pursuing other basketball things right now, so unfortunate not to have a Near on this team, but wish her the best in her future endeavors and whatever she tries to go over. What have you seen so far, though, Brett, from the Dinos? It's going to take a while here. From the Trojans so far.
Well, so far I see a lot of aggressive play on both ends of the court right now. Seen a couple of steals, and like I mentioned earlier, that offensive board leading to 2 more points. And I mean, so far all of their points have been coming off of the defense, which has led to that offense. So I'm loving what I'm seeing on both sides of the court right now from the Trojans.
Absolutely. So 6-0 right now, 7:49 left here in the first. Each team has a team foul. 1 timeout left for the Rattlers, 2 for the Trojans.
More aggressive D right there, nearly causing the travel and the turnover, but Rattlers lucky to get away. But there is the steal there.
That's Curl again. She bounce passes it to Brooke. She's fouled. She'll go to the line and shoot a pair. She's fouled by Johnstone. So Johnstone picking up her first foul so far in this affair. And this will be actually Skylar McDonald at the line. I got my returning Trojans mixed up there. Skylar at the line, the BC native. She also wasn't on this team last year, and we'll see what she can do and fight for the rebound there. Pryor tried to get a hand on it. You talked about the rebounds again. She's someone who's going to factor into that rebounding side.
Yeah, absolutely. But one thing that, Coach Beer is not going to be happy about is the missed free throws early. Big problem for both teams last year. They both shot under 60% from the line. Nice move towards the basket there, but the shot doesn't go.
Rebound, not able to go down there by Hofat. Second chance opportunity. Not able to go, and Hofat will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Mentioned Kirsty Johnstone from the Rattlers earlier. She is of the returning players for the Rattlers, she's the one who led the team in scoring last year with only 3.6 points per game. So you know that this Rattlers team is really going to need to find a lot of offense from their new first-year players, and they got a lot of them. So I'm curious to see who's going to step up for the Rattlers in this season.
Much like last year, and I mention this with every single sport I do, but it's so interesting. When you look at these classes, like this was some of these girls would have played grade 10, but got a grade 11 season. So they got thrown right into the fire for their grade 12 senior year. And some of these girls are really adjusting to not having a senior year of high school, kind of getting thrown into the fire for a collegiate level last year. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic as we move forward. Baker passed it back out. Goes to the three. No good by Varga. Pryor tried to get the rebound. She bounces it back out. And Baker resets the offense. Shot clock down to 10. 6:45 left here in the first. 6-2 to Trojans. And a foul down low. And Johnstone knew that was on her, and she'll pick up her second foul.
Yet another missed three that just haven't dropped yet for the Trojans, but no team sunk more threes in the ACAC last year than the Trojans. They hit over 100 of them. They hit 124. That was enough for first in the league.
Pryor, spin move, gets it down. Her first basket as a SAIT Trojan.
Brilliant aggressive move to the basket there. Love to see that from the first year.
It's 8-2, and again, you're going to have to see what we can get at her. Aaliyah Bollinger, she checked into the game for the first time during the free throws. Jonker passed it back out to Pittman. And then ball's fought for down low. Halfat trying to find some room. Can't get it. Ball's loose. Varga's able to pick it up. She gets it swatted away by Watson. So back and forth we go on both sides.
Kyler Varga with a couple of nice games against the Rattlers last season. She had 13 in the overtime win, and she had 16 in that loss the next night. So 29 over 2 games, and hope to see her continue that offensive skill in this one.
Absolutely. Pryor just missed the jump shot there. And Varga will reset up the offense and see if she can figure things out like Brett said. Nice pass inside, but a little too much on that. You want to put that soft touch there, and that stuff will come with timing as you grow within the season. Also, a better chance to kind of have that pick and roll there, and the roll came a little bit too fast. So early signs, things you're going to learn as the season goes on.
Yeah, absolutely. As we see another steal there, the defense aggressive again as Baker drives.
Can't get it to go. Rebound there by Bollinger. Whipped ahead to Hofat. She goes up strong and finishes.
One heck of a dime there from Pittman. Holy.
Baker loses control, gets it back. Hesitation 3 there. Strong defense there by Pittman. And trying to figure out as the shot clock's winding down. Trojans got to get something. Nice fake. Strong take to the hole and a foul. See who that one was on. I think it may have been on, yeah, it was on Pittman, and that'll be Pittman's first so far. And Baker so far has been on the attack, shooting 2 for 4. She has a rebound, a dime, and so far 4 points to her name. Some substitutions coming in as Cormier checks in for the Trojans, as well as Mason Mulholland and knocks down that free throw rather easy. So right now Baker taking off where she did when she was a Trojan last time, scoring with ease. And knocks down that one. And substitution coming in, Skylar comes in. And everyone's learning here. It's a new time at the Jack here. We have our lawn time scoreboard manager there. She's figuring out things. Everyone's figuring out things here at the Jack. Coincidentally for me, I'm the only one that kind of has a beat on things, as being the broadcaster for the Dinos as well.
Couple of first-year Trojans into the game here.
And again, kind of keep an eye on that post side. How can they fill some of the position and rebounding minutes that Fogo gave them last year? I think they found the scoring option without a near and Brooke. Shot clock is, I don't even know how to explain what the shot clock just did. So the shot clock went a little bit berserk. Again,
Yep.
no, we're in a new gym. Everyone's trying to figure things out. So early season jitters for everybody.
Absolutely.
So just discussing what the shot clock is. I think we've landed on 11 on the shot clock. It's 4:57 here, left on the first. 10-4 right now for the women of Troy. 14 fouls on the Rattler, 2 for the Trojans. Throws a wild shot. It wasn't 11, it was 1, by the way. That just got changed to the last second on me. And now ball comes up with George. Tight defense, trying not to let her get across. She does beat the 10 seconds. George passes it in the corner, whipped around, goes for the tray. No in and out there by Watson. Fight for the ball down low, jump ball, and possession stays. Oh no, we're gonna have a foul. The foul is gonna be on Kyler Varga. That'll be Kyler's first. And a substitution will come into the game. And this will be Kendall Shelensky, who will check into the game. Who we were told that may not be playing today, but apparently will be in. Bollinger has the rock. Tried to pass it out. Shot clock winding down on them, and Trojans pick up another steal. Ball passed ahead. Skylar. I think we have shot clock issues again, so the ball will go out for the Trojans as we try to figure out this shot clock. So now I believe it's 19, although I was deceived last time. So it is going to be 19. I think we are, yeah. So Cormier gets it down low. So we may have to take a little bit of a break here, folks, because we are having real issues with the shot clock here. Again, you know, I will say for those that are watching at home, like, hey, let's just watch the game. The individual operating the shot clock has operated at SAIT for decades. It's one of the best in the business. So it's just trying to figure things out here as we get along. But as we try to figure out the shot clock issues right now, Brett, what have you liked so far that you've seen from both sides?
Well, again, just the hard pressure on both ends of the court from the Trojans. Lots of turnovers they forced. But I like the fact that the Rattlers are sticking around. They're very aggressive, like underneath the net, especially from Hofert earlier. She had those two opportunities, was able to finally draw the foul and put a couple points on the board. But yeah, the Rattlers are battling right now, struggling to find the basket. But you know, they're hanging in there, and there's still a lot of game to go. So.
Yep. So we will hopefully now got the shot clock issues figured out. We got 4:20 left here in the first. Ball's inside, almost stolen away, and Skylar will pick it up in the backcourt. Guarded heavily by George. Skylar whips it ahead. A little bit too much hesitation there by Shelensky. Yeah, you gotta go right that. You know, being a younger player, that's gonna come here.
Yeah, like we said, we got three first-year players on the court right now for the Trojans. So. Going to be some growing pains no matter how much you practice, you know, once you're in that real game situation.
Nice take to the hole there, but missed by Bollinger. Fight for the ball. Big tray, no good. Seaborn isn't able to knock it down. No threes on either side so far of the game. Skylar has the ball at the top of the key.
I know the fans at home are just waiting for that three call from you. So
it's been a second. Ball passed down low. For the three, no good. Trying to reset the offense there, and substitution will come in. Kentenge comes in. She's 0 for 1 so far from 3, the lone shot that she's had. Ball goes down inside. Spin move off, pass it back. Lawn 2 by Cormier. She can't get it to go, and rebounded by George. And then ball's batted around, trying to keep it in there. It goes off of Varga. She's 0 for 2 so far with a foul.
But another aggressive hand in there, causing that turnover. And Rattlers just haven't been able to find a way to get around that.
A few years ago, the Trojans had a player, Woolley, and she was just a tenacious defender. And everything that Melissa Woolley brought on Varga has definitely kept that inspirited. And there's another big steal there for the Trojans. Passed ahead to Varga. She gets it, dribbles, knocks down the layup.
Big shout out to Macy Mulholland on that one with the steal and the dime. Gotta love that.
I've seen Macy Mulholland in a few showcases this year and really impressed me with her play. No shock, she's getting good minutes early on here. And Kaylee Sellers will come in. She's 1 for 1 so far from the line. And 1 rebound and an assist so far. And she'll lead at the point position to start off. Skylar McDonald hands it off. Trapped at the top. Shot clock is winding down. Try to get over for the three. Good defense there by Watson. Then denied at the rim right there by George. But solid defense right there from the Rattlers. Their offense hasn't been able to click, but I really love what they've been able to do there at the top of the key, not letting any long shots go down, Brett.
Yeah, really just really holding that zone and just not giving any shooting lanes for the Trojans there, and led to that really, really big denial there from George. But you know, both teams here looking to really build off of a not a bad year, but not necessarily a great year either. You know, Trojans 9-7 last year, Rattlers 8-8.
Defeated into the winter break, and then Brooke.
Yeah.
Returned to the team. They added Anir, who was a redshirt for the Dinos, and Anir was great, but the scoring that Brooke had, they just couldn't seem to replace, even with a great player like Anir Wall. So having Brooke back is huge for them this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Skylar
they were able to.
McDonald for three. Yuke! Put on the board! Skylar McDonald from downtown.
Sellers with the big steal.
Sorry, Brett, you were saying?
I was saying, you know, even without Brooke, the Trojans were able to get back to the Final Four.
They were.
But
it was close, too.
yeah, it was. But and then a disappointing loss in the bronze medal game there. They really got blown out of the water in that third place game. But
there was a lot of excitement because the men had a really tight Final Four game, and they had won that. And there was hope that both the men and the women would be playing at the same time. And then obviously it didn't. A lot of unfortunate losses last year in close games for both the men and women of Troy. Obviously, in Nationals, Trojans in that tough game out east, just coming down to the wire. Do have 5 ACAC titles. The men still looking for that national title. The women and Coach Parmar have came close a few times. Last year, that Final Four, and hoping to be able to find that self back. The good thing for the Trojans this year is I find they have a nice balance of veteranship and freshmen on their squads.
yeah, absolutely. And having Brooke and Skylar back, I think, could give them that extra push to really get back to the finals this year.
Lontrey, no good. And rebound there by Pittman. Passed ahead to Bollinger, and Bollinger run the point. Pittman back to Bollinger. She was thinking 3. She gets stuck on the defensive side there. Jonker passes it back. Strong take to the hole, but then loses it. Almost just kind of lost her balance. Sellers pass it back out. And Skylar will reset the offense for the Trojans. Skylar McDonald for Trey. She's already got one. Plunks that one off. Rebound by Cormier. She's fighting for it. Double team down low. Open jumper. No good. And Cormier on that rebound again. Ties it up with Holfort. And the possession is the Rattlers.
Josh, I'm really loving what I'm seeing from both Cormier and Mulholland, the 2 first years from Airdrie. They're really both bringing it in this first quarter. And, I mean, Mulholland, a couple steals now, some really nice passing. And Cormier just aggressive down low under the basket with those rebounds.
Something I haven't seen from the women's team as far as like Rashina obviously out of a great side, but since Logan Monks, which is the name from about 4 years ago that this women's team had, it's a player like that. They really, I guess Rachel was not too bad either, but they really have now 2 deep inside threats, mind you, with Pryor and Cormier. And you mentioned Mulholland too, but I've loved the tenacity of Cormier. She's added that fight that Fogo didn't have, so I'm sure Fogo's taken her under her learning tree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, really, I'm seeing a lot of really good and positive signs early on in this first quarter, but.
Lawn 2 knocks it in. Nice jumper there, knocked down by Jonker. And
Rattlers haven't played bad in this first quarter. They're just struggling to put just to finish right now. That has been their only real issue.
Sellers goes in strong, knocks it in for 2. So 18-6 right now. Rattlers, by the way, are in the bonus. They have 5 fouls, and Trojans have 4. So ball passed across. Shot clock right now at 12. But 3 seconds between game and shot clock. Jonker passes it. Tight D by the Trojans. Open for the 3, though. Borinjay can't get it to go. And that one can't go. Fight for it. Second left on the clock at the buzzer. No good. So, after 1 quarter of play, the women of Troy lead the Medicine Hat Rattlers 18-6. Your leading scorers for the Trojans, Brooke Baker with 6 points. And for Medicine Hat, Haley Holfort with 4. We're going to take a quick break and be back in 2.
I wish I could.
You get the cover. You get the cover.
Yeah.
We are back into the second quarter here, and Joshua Adamway-Martha with Brett and our producer Rob making everything work for us today. Jesse on the camera. It's a 4-man crew here today.
Yeah, a little bare bones, but you know we're making it work, and we're doing a great job.
We are literally Trojans.
Absolutely. You know, the Trojans are getting kicked off in the men's hockey tonight over at Winsport, so
yeah,
split crew.
It's a split crew for sure. Brett, what did you see in the first quarter there?
Well, so far I've seen a lot of tenacity on both ends of the court from the Trojans, lots of steals, causing a lot of turnovers, really aggressive on the glass as well, which is something they struggled with last year.
Skylar McDonald with the long 2.
And, I mean, from the Rattlers, like I mentioned, of their returning players, the leading scorer from those returning players only had 3.5 points a game last year, and so far I have yet to see anyone step up into that offensive role from the Rattlers, and they're really just struggling to find the basket at the moment.
And it's a really solid point. Jump up for the 3 for Curl. You can put on the board, Ava Curl from downtown. The Trojans, you can see there's definitely an effect of players that can take the ability to take the offensive side by the bare bones. You haven't been able to see that from the Rattlers so far. Curl, back-to-back buckets, 5 points in 30 seconds. And right now, who will be able to step up and do that? Holfort leads them right now along the way, but they're just trying to hold on to the basketball right now, Brett.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, like I said earlier, the Trojans just everywhere on the board right now. They just caused another turnover. As Baker looks to set something up now on offense, but they're just getting in the lanes. They're really getting their hands in and just getting at that ball and just making life so difficult for what looks like a very nervous Rattlers team at the moment. Having that veteran presence of Skylar and Brooke back in the lineup is really playing a huge factor right now.
This Trojans women's team, this is actually just, and maybe I'm being hyperbolic because it's just the first, but this is maybe the best constructed women's team I have seen from the Trojans in probably 4 years. From the inside out, they got Baker, nice take to the hole, can't get it. 4 coaches on their team. Howie Leone, who's one of the best assistant coaches in the entire ACAC. Coach Parmar had time at the high school out here in Churchill, and the great women's team there that's almost every single athlete there go on to a pro career in something. And then 2 stud coaches for the Trojans on the side here with Rashina Fogo and with Alicia Tan. Alicia Tan, the highest scorer in Trojans history. And not to take anything away from the Rattlers, too, just 2 terrific coaches on their side as well as they're trying to figure their way back. And they were in the Nationals just a few years ago and came short against St. Mary's.
But yeah, I think as you mentioned, having those former players on the coaching staff has been, I think it's really kind of showing on the court with a lot of these first years, and just the fact that they just feel comfortable on the court right now playing their first game in ACAC action.
Yeah, Medicine Hat for the longest time. There's a long 3, no good. Medicine Hat for the longest time was one of the best team for women-wise in the ACAC, and now kind of maybe going through a little bit of a rebuilding side.
Yeah, that's the ups and downs of collegiate sports, you know, that you can have a great program, but players come in and players go out, and the ability to get new players in is really key. So
looks like Pryor's going to pick up her second foul here. Yeah, she's going to pick up her second foul, and at the line we will have Mina Trojovic and Vanessa Cormier will come back into the game. Trojans this year, both the men and the women's team, some of the best names you're going to have. Summer James, I need her in the game. Just a great name. And that one goes down.
We have seen another great name, though, in Kendall Shelastinsky, so I'm hoping that we...
Kendall Shelastinsky is definitely a great
We're going to figure that one out.
It's a mouthful. Maybe I'll just call her KS. Strong take to the hole. Sellers knocks it in. Sellers right now 3 for 4 in this game with 6 points to put her in a tie right now for the lead in points in this game with Baker.
But, I mean, you can see on that play there, Sellers, the Rattlers know her ability to shoot the 3. She was able to locate that and then just drive it to the hole.
Yep.
And so you love to see that.
You absolutely do. And ball will go out for the Rattlers right now. It's 7:03 left here in the second, 27-7. And out comes Ava Curl. Macy Maholling comes in. Ava Curl right now with 5 points and 2 fouls. So a little bit of foul trouble starting right now for the women of Troy. They already have 3 team fouls early on here. Nice bucket inside there for the Rattlers.
Yeah, nice move from Watson there to really just drive to the basket and play it off the glass.
Going for the 3, no good.
Cormier again, Josh.
She's unbelievable down there. So if you're the Rattlers right now, Brett, I guess, you don't try to look at that score and get too overwhelmed. You just want to start chipping away at it.
Yeah, that's really all you can do. I mean, and it's the first game of the year.
Yeah.
It's a long season. Maybe the best plan of action is just to kind of rotate some players in.
Yeah.
Try out some different things, see what's going to work, because it's about the battle. It's about the war. Sorry, not the battle. So it's a long one. So things are not going so far, but we're only a quarter and a half into what is going to be a 16-game season.
Oh yeah, and that is 8 seconds there on the women of Troy. They cannot get it over. So 27-9 right now. 6:20 left here in the second. 3 team fouls for the Trojans, 1 for the Rattlers. Trying to get that ball down low, but once again, the tenacity of every woman of Troy on this team. Fighting, getting down low for those loose balls. And they get the shot clock violation. And then who's on the other side? Ready to go? Sellers, who now takes the lead in points for the women of Troy in this one, shooting 4 of 6 from the field.
Brooke Baker again, Josh, diving for that steal, laying out the body.
Watson can't make that one. Don't tell the women of Troy that this is the first game of the season. They are definitely showcasing that they are ready to go. Mini platoon swap coming in now, and take a quick timeout in this one as both teams have a talk here going on. Kaylee Sellers, though, right now. Brett 4-6 from the field. Not able to knock down a trade just yet, but a very efficient game for her so far.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of building off some of the momentum she was building later on in last year's season. She had a couple of really good games in the playoffs. She was absolutely lights out from three. Hasn't quite hit that yet, but you can see that just her ability to shoot that three is leading to opportunities kind of closer to the basket. It's given her some good chances to score.
Absolutely, and the one thing I would say I'm sure they're going to be talking about in the huddle right now with Med Hat is calm down. There's a lot of erratic, a lot of over-dribbling, what I've seen from them so far, and that's leading to a lot of loose balls. Like, let's see what the steals here. It's 11 steals to nothing right now, and I actually feel that number is higher.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I feel like there's 11 steals just in this quarter. Medicine Hat's just shooting 17% from the field right now, 0 for 6 from downtown. Trojans are 2 of 28, so the Trojans have gotten 11 more shot attempts just off of those steals. So those 11 of those steals have led to 11 extra shot attempts.
Yeah, and what we're also seeing is just not allowing the Rattlers to dominate the glass like they have in
Well, they are,
in
though.
last season.
They're winning 16-11. They're just not making the opportunities from that.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what I think you're talking about there, Brett, is they dominate the glass, but they make opportunities from dominating from the glass. So Rattlers now trying to sort their offense out after that timeout. Get a play in, and met by a double team down low. Second chance opportunity, knocks it down. So George able to get her first bucket of the game. 3 rebounds so far, 2 fouls to her name, and she'll go to try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, 20-point lead always looks a lot worse when it's early in the game and it's 29-9. You know, if it's 49-29, doesn't quite look as daunting of a task, but looks like the coaching staff of the Rattlers kind of gave them some good advice here heading back into the game and nearly had the and one.
Ball up top right now as Mulholland passes it off. 1-3, that one's off, so Sellers not able to get that tray. And now brought ahead by Bremer. She passed it down to Seaborn. Back for the 3, looking for that first one. That one is off. Ball bounces around, fight for it. And they're going to say it stays with the Rattlers as it tipped off a Trojan.
Sellers, the Newfoundlander, had a little bit of salty words after she missed that one. You could see it. She knew it right away that she didn't get the right release on that.
Shooters can tell when it leaves when it leaves those fingertips, you have a good idea. Here's Jones. Hasn't got a shot up yet. Pittman. She gets double teamed. The Trojans have done a really good job of whoever the ball handler is getting the double team, and then great shot there by Seaborn getting her first bucket of the game. Also has a rebound to go, and don't look now. A little bit of a mini run going from the Rattlers.
Yeah, 5 in a row, and suddenly it's 15. And
Skylar guarded by Pittman, has to dish it off. Met by another Rattler defender, and that one's no good.
Yeah, just too strong on that one from McDonald.
And then another steal there by Sellers. Dishes in the corner for an open tray for Baker. No good. And then rebound. And then batted around. Baker gets it. You can't give these careless turnovers to the Trojans. They will make you pay. Shot clock is at high. And then knocked it in before the shot clock was winding down as Brooke Baker gets it.
Brilliant drive to the hoop by Baker. And another one, Josh.
Another steal from Sellers. I'll have to open the advanced stats in a second to see what she has. Skylar has it at the top of the key. Hasn't scored since she's gotten that 3. Nice Euro step. Bounce pass. Can't get it to go. Cormier underneath. Dropped a dime, but can't get it finished. And rebound there by George. He lobs it ahead. Bobs the ball. Jumps, and nice finish there by Bremer to get her first bucket. Is wild action going on here as 3:16 is left here in the second. 31-16, Trojans ahead. 14 fouls for the Trojans. Cormier Tried to pass it ahead to Baker. She does get it to her. Baker spins off, goes up straight, can't finish it. Another rebound there by George. 6 rebounds so far by George in this one, leading all players. And 8 seconds this time against the Rattlers. And a bunch of subs coming back in now for the Rattlers, including Watson, who is 1 for 3 in this game with a rebound and 2 points. And if we look at the advanced stats right now for Sellers, they have her down for 4 steals.
I feel like it's more than that, Josh.
I feel like it's more than that, too. Nice taken. Oh! Knocked down by Skylar McDonald. 7 points for her now.
Welcome back to the Trojans, Skylar McDonald.
Skylar is looking for that chip. 33-16. Ball to Watson. Pittman. Down low. Nice spin move. Off. George gets the nice finish. George has been tremendous in this game. She has 6 rebounds and now it's 5 points.
Yeah, clearly the standout player in the first half for the Rattlers here.
She gets Brooke, I was going to say, just was going by her there, but then a turnover. So it's 33-18 right now, 2:08. You need to try to get this to get to the 23-point mark there and really hold the Trojans off. Really, if I were coach, I would almost take a timeout here and really set a mark. We need to show our defensive prowess right here. Here's Watson. Pass it off. Top of the key is Bollinger. Watson. And now Rattlers trying to find something. We get stuck at the top of the key. Have to force a launch shot. That's a block.
Look, Cormier again.
Cormier. Oh, no, it was Mulholland. But Cormier doing the dirty work down in the paint. McDonald step backs for the tray. Bang! You can put on the board. Skylar McDonald from downtown, her 2nd of the game. Only player so far to get a 3 in this game. Now leads all players with 10 points. Nice dime there. Can Watson finish it? She cannot. Fight for the ball down low. Cormier, she gets fouled by Watson. Substitution coming in for the Trojans. And there will be a timeout for the Rattlers. Brett.
Yeah, a little more than a minute left to go in this half. And, I mean, right now, the Rattlers, best they can do right now is just try to get a couple buckets, good couple defensive possessions, and they just got to find a way to eat into this lead right now because they're getting doubled at the moment.
Crazy thing is, they've had a much better quarter in this one. 18-12 in this quarter right now. Shooting's gone up from the 12 to 29 for them. They are killing the glass. Out-rebound the Trojans by 10. But as you mentioned before, Brett, not making the most of those opportunities.
Absolutely, and that is how this Rattlers team, this is how they were so successful last season, were those second, third opportunities as a team who led in rebounding in the year. So you know how important it is for them to cash in on those second chances.
And on that point, so the Trojans losing by 10 rebounds right now in the rebound battle. The Trojans have 18 points in the paint. If you're winning the rebound battle, that could not be happening.
Yeah, not a stat you would normally hear go together, but.
And I know, like, the defensive rebounds are the side that they're leading on. The offensive rebounds is 8-7. It's a little bit closer, but Trojans are getting that. Second chance points. Rattlers are actually leading in that, and the bench has been far superior right now for the Rattlers. But again, trying to find that scoring option. The Trojans have, in this one, they realistically have 5 they can really go for. But in this one, between Sellers, McDonald, and Baker, they have them that they know that they can get a bucket.
Absolutely, and Curl as well. She's had a couple. She's got 5 already, so lots of options here for the Trojans. And everyone else on the team might not be putting up the points, but they're playing really well as that 3 goes down. They're doing really well on the defensive side and with those offensive boards.
Yeah, absolutely. So Trojans has a chance maybe for a 2-and-1 opportunity here. Double team down low. Pass it out to Skylar McDonald. Nice pass inside and finish down there by Kendall Shelstinsky.
KS.
Yes. Great job there by her down low. And shot clock, game clock, about 5 seconds. They go down low to George. George, strong take, can't get it. Shot clock is dead. Trojans will hold it. Nice steal there by Watson. She can make something for it. Dishes it off, spin move, turnaround Jay, no good. George fights for it. She gets nothing. Trojans may have a heave here at the second. No, they're going to hold off. So at the end of the first half, the women of Troy, led by Skylar McDonald and 10 points, lead Medicine Hat 38-21. Abby Watson and George lead the way right now for Medicine Hat with 5 points in each. George leads all player with 6 rebounds right now, and lots of steals for the Trojans. The turnover is the key right now. 13 steals on record for the Trojans, and that has been a big detriment in this game.
Yeah, ball movement is going to be key for the Rattlers coming into the second half. They got to find a way to get around that full court press and just try to avoid those turnovers. And for the Trojans, just keep up what you're doing. Don't take your foot off the gas. Don't give the Rattlers an opportunity to get back into this one.
Absolutely. All right, we return in 15 minutes for the second half of action. What it is, what it do. Welcome back to the broadcast. Joshua Adam William Armathought, along with the Big BL, as we get ready to bring you more exciting action. And it's a little bit of an uphill climb for the Rattlers. I did feel that they started to find their stride in between that second quarter. Lost a little bit, but did find a little bit of an identity. Looks like they're going to be coming out with 2-3 zone to start us off here, Brett.
Yeah, they definitely came out, had a much better second. They only lost the quarter by 5. So, I mean, they're sticking around. They're still trying to find that offensive flow. They've been playing well on the glass, lots of rebounds. They're out-rebounding the Trojans like crazy. But like we've said multiple times, those second-chance opportunities not coming through for the Trojans. What a steal by Brooke.
Yeah, stolen by Brooke to the hole. Can't get it to go. As aggressive as she's been and knocked down there by Sellers, as aggressive as Brooke has been, her shooting not the greatest tonight, 3 of 14 from the field. But again, early on in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Sellers, though, is they get 2 back there. That's Johnstone. Sellers, though, double digits now, 10 points on the game.
Yeah, and she joined Skylar McDonald there. As Brett just mentioned, Johnstone got it. Another steal, passes it ahead here. Bremer goes around and knocks it in, and that'll be Bremer's second bucket of the evening.
You know, my advice for the Trojans coming into the second half was don't take your foot off the gas.
No.
And I mean, they seem a little bit cold coming into the second half. Two steals after not giving up 1 the entire first half.
Shot clock winding down. Lawn 3, no good. Rebound there by Mulholland. Pass it back out to Baker, and Sellers will reset the offense up as they're under 10 on the shot clock. Sellers shooting the ball really well. Doesn't get that one. Had contact. Second time at the buzzer of the shot clock. Doesn't get the right bounce. So 2 misses there for Sellers. Now 5 from 11 from the field. A reset on the offensive side for the Rattlers is trying to get a little bit of a run going right now. Johnstone for the 3. Can't get it to go. Hit an inside iron.
Yeah, those returning faces for the Trojans have been a welcome back for them. For McDonald and for Baker. A couple good halves.
Can't get that. Baker comes and finishes strong there off of the miss from Pryor. Yeah, I mean, you have multiple players right now you can score between Sellers and Baker and McDonald, and we know Ava Kroll can have a game. And Kyler Varga, we barely even talked about her. She has 2 points. She's 1 from 3. Had a little bit of foul trouble, but she's an explosive. Those are 5 players right there in particular can light it up. And now when you add in this front court presence there between Pryor and Mulholland and Cormier, it's a game changer for this women's team.
Yeah, nice as three separate Trojans right now in double digits on the scoreboard.
Yep.
Bad giveaway there. But yeah, you love to see that they're moving the ball around. They're getting everyone involved. And they just look like a really well-oiled machine.
Oh, man.
In mid-season form now, and they're only entering their second half of the season.
Nice steal there, though, by the Rattlers. Strong take and finish there by Bremer, who's really finding her rhythm here in the second.
Yeah, Bryn Bremner, that's their that's another steal for and leading to yet another bucket.
I'm really loving, as a former post, I'm really loving the movement from Pryor down in the paint. If she can get that to go, that's just going to be an extra problem for teams against the Trojans this year.
Absolutely. And you know it'll come with the season right now. Like, well, Holland nearly with another steal.
Watson hesitated on the three there. Shot clock winding down. Sellers gets a tie-up. Just throws up a wild shot. Can't get it. Rebound by Sellers. That'll be her 5th rebound of the game. So 5 steals, 5 rebounds, and 10 points. Quite a stat line for Sellers so far. Drive to the hole. Baker finishing strong. 5 of 15, 12 points for her. She regains her lead of points in this game. Passed ahead now to Jonker. Bounce pass and finish. Beautiful job there as George gets to finish 7 and 7 for her now on the evening.
Yeah, better job of the Rattlers in the second half getting around that pressure and just finding those lanes and getting a couple of easy buckets so far. Staying in this one.
Holford checks back in the game, and Bollinger for the Rattlers. Belanger. Ball passed ahead. Skyler hesitates, strips it off to Pryor. Can't get it, and Pryor, you know, she's been fighting hard to get a bucket. She's 1 for 5 right now, but you love to see the effort so far from her. Nice dime inside. Strong take. Holford knocks it down, and there we go. A little bit of the run we were talking about that we wanted to see from this Rattlers team.
Yeah, they're up 4 right now in this quarter, and doing a good job of getting down low and getting those easy baskets.
And good job on the perimeter there by Bollinger, taking Sellers away from a 3-point opportunity. Sellers trying to dive in. She can't get it. Baker, double team. She's going to go for the J. Can't get it. Her first miss of this quarter, and ball it up here by Bollinger. I've seen Coach Parmar in that stance before, Brad. He's getting ready to maybe call a timeout.
Nice job to cause the TO there from Baker. But don't look now, Josh, but one bucket from the Rattlers. This could be a 10-point game.
Yeah, a 10-point game, just like that. That's why you don't put your foot off the gas. Skyler bring the ball up. Guarded by Madison Pittman. Pittman's stat line's not going to blow up, but her defensive side in this game I've been very impressed with. McDonald can't get the tray to go. Fight for the rebound down low. Batted around. Pryor gets it. Goes up strong. And still having a little bit of trouble getting the ball to fall. Mulholland able to knock that one down.
Yeah, you can tell Pryor was some of her shots have been a little too strong, and then she took a little bit too much off of it that time as she tried to finesse it in.
It's the funniest thing as a post. You know, everyone kind of thinks you have the easiest time to just tap it in, but you can almost get like a baseball yips in some ways, right? Where you start overthinking how much you're going to put that shot in. She's still killing it on the glass right now. 4 rebounds for her. 2 dimes, too. She's doing a good job passing around the rock as Varga and Curl come in for the Trojans. But for a player like her, who I believe is a freshman,
yep,
I believe she is, you've seen a lot of great things that you're going to see from Pryor. You know she's going to have a few breakout games. And speaking about a good game right now, Horford, 7 points for her, taking a tie in the lead. That front court right now from Medicine between George and Horford, nice job so far. Combined 12 rebounds from them and 13 points.
Yeah, doing a good job of really just cutting into this Trojans' advantage.
Ball whipped around. Jonker passed it back down to Pittman. Watson got tipped on the shot there by Baker, who said, "Shh, I got to block." Or she was saying hush to Alicia Tan, I think, as Tan was maybe saying good job to her. I'm not sure. I saw her give the hush gesture to the bench.
Yeah, I think she was trying to claim she didn't touch that one.
Yeah.
She wanted Trojans' possession.
Yeah. And shot clock winds down. So that was on Hofer trying to get it in there. So 4:36 left here. We're over the halfway point of this third quarter. 46-32 right now. Trojans up. Ball fought for down low. A jump ball stays with the Rattlers, and they'll get a new full shot clock.
First 5.5 minutes of this quarter has just flown by, too.
My goodness.
Just the amount of scoring and the offense has really been exciting to watch.
And 2 good young teams. Nice take inside. Can't get it to go. Great job there by Varga. Then she gets met by Hofort. Passed ahead to Skylar. Skylar's got to get it over, and she does. And now McDonald will set up the offense. Gets a pick there from Pryor. She's not going to take it. Varga tried to fake, overthought it to Pryor. Can't get it to go, and her shooting slump continues. But now she gets one to go as Essie Pryor gets her second bucket of the game. 4 rebounds, 4 points.
There we go. We got a little bit of a confidence booster there for Pryor.
Never really deteriorate her. She still fought hard and kept on trying to find her shot. Watson. Jumper, no good. Tiptoeing on that line there for Curl, and it was a little bit too much for the officials of the push. And the Trojans will keep the ball as a substitution comes into the game for the Rattlers as Johnstone checks in the game. She has 2 points so far and 1 of 4 shooting. McDonald will handle the ball at top. Gets it down to Varga, hands it off to Curl. She's going to go for the tray. You can put on the board. Ava Curl from downtown. Her second of the game.
Big for Curl. That brings her up to 8 now.
That brings her up to 8. So Trojans have a chance to have 4 scorers in double digits before we even get to the 4th. And substitutions come into the game right now as George and Bremer check into the game. Bremer finding her scoring ability in this quarter here. Brett, she's shooting 3 of 4 so far. 6 points and 4 rebounds so far for Bremer.
Yeah, a much better, like a really nice quarter from her. She's really come out and kind of led this Rattlers team to try and get them back in it. A couple of easy buckets down low, but she did the good work to cause a couple of steals. And
you blinked, and now they're down by 19.
Yep. So good response from the Trojans in the last few minutes.
Ball's going to go back to the Trojans. Shot clock reset. 3:04 left. 3 team fouls on the women of Troy and 1 on the Rattlers. Both teams with all their timeouts left here as Baker drives ahead, tried to pass it to Pryor. Don't know if I like that play. You had the straight lane there. I know you're trying to do that no-look pass there. Pryor didn't seem to be ready for it. Maybe attack the basket, try to at least pick up a foul.
Yeah, it might be something that they'll kind of figure out as we go.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of find that as you get together and play more in the season with your teammate. Pryor now back-to-back buckets. 53-32. Trojans 21-point lead. Junker for 3. She can't get it to go. Rebound by Skylar McDonald. McDonald dimes it ahead. Nice take to the hole by Baker, and she continues to play fantastic in this one. 14 points now for Baker. Long 3 for Pittman. Knocks it down. Pittman for 3. Happy to see her get that because she's played great on both sides of the ball, specifically defensively. So like to see her find herself offensively.
Yeah, big first bucket from her and an absolute must-make for the Rattlers. They really found themselves back in a big hole again. At least can get back to 20 with that one.
Yeah, they were a tray away, as you mentioned, Brett, from having a chance to make it a 10-point game, a goal you kind of set. And right now they're back down to 20, and Mulholland checks in, and out comes Pryor. So good third quarter from Pryor.
Yeah, really nice to see her get a couple of buckets there. The hard work on both sides really paid off on the score sheet. And
we got a chance to talk to Coach Leone before the game. I think he kind of undersold what's going on with this women's team.
Maybe just a touch.
Yep. Baker can't get that to go. She was perfect on the season. From the free throw line before that one.
Shelestinsky in the game too. KS back in it.
10 seconds of the shot clock right now. Curl. Fight for the ball down low as Bremer was all over that one. Throws up a wild 3. Can't get it to go. Ball bobbled around. Back to Bremer and then stolen away by Baker. Baker now out on the break. She's going to hold it back. She'll kind of observe the offense. All bents down. Pump fake inside. Mulholland knocks it down. Beautiful pass inside from KS.
Brilliant 1-2 there, just the give and go, and well-worked offense from the Trojans.
All passed ahead. Baker gonna go. See, she dimed it off again. Sometimes you can be a little bit too into the dimes.
Yeah.
See that in sometimes the NBA with Trae Young, and it leads to turnovers. Like that one, she had a straight take to the hole. Just go and take the contact.
Absolutely. Big block from KS there, by the way. But man, does Brooke to get down the court in a hurry.
6 of 19 from the field right now for her. 0 for 5 from downtown, and a platoon swap in for Medhat.
Yeah, Katenge back in the match. We haven't seen her in a while.
No, we haven't. She goes up strong. And charging call.
Nice job from Curl there to just hold her ground and cause the offensive turnover. We enter the final minute of the third.
Down to less than 1 minute here to play, as Brett just mentioned. Curl and Watson, 2 fours meeting up to make it go out of bounds and take 3 seconds off. Almost 4 seconds there, but numbers just didn't want to add up.
I have really liked what I've seen from Abby Watson from the Rattlers.
Yeah, I do too.
Really nice game.
On 3, no good. Rebound by KS. And ball will go back to the Trojans with 10 seconds on the shot clock. On side to Shelstinsky. She goes up strong, can't get it to go. Ball passed down low. McDonald will hold it. Shot clock is dead. 58-35 Trojans. McDonald has 10 points, hasn't scored in this quarter. Trying to get that pick. Doesn't take it. Trying to go one-on-one. Dips it off. Curl picks it up, and then she travels as a little bit of a tangle with her and Watson. And there'll be 1.9 seconds left here in the third. We'll see if the Rattlers have a miracle chuck in them here. They did not. So after 3 quarters of play right now, George and Holfort lead the way for Medicine Hat with 7 points. The Trojans are in the lead, 58-35, led by 15 points from Brooke Baker, as she also has 3 rebounds. And we have 2 other Trojans in double digits with Sellers and McDonald. Take a quick 2-minute break and be right back. What it is, what I do, we are back here at the Jack Simpson Gymnasium. Thank you for watching us on ACAC TV. Joshua Adam William Arbuthnot, joined by Brett. We have Rob, our producer, and Jesse on camera, as we are getting ready for the 4th and potentially final quarter here of the season opener for the women of Troy. 3 ball, no good. Trojans so far kind of taking on to liking the Jack.
Yeah, absolutely. They feel right at home here in their temporary at their temporary court, and it's been a really, really strong 30 minutes from them so far. Rattlers did a good job of trying to chip away in that first half of the third quarter, but Trojans got back into it, and they really just kind of put their mark on this game, and it went from a 13-point game to a 23-point game in the blink of an eye.
It did. They were right there. They were right there. And then, unfortunately, not able to hold on to it, and the Trojans on their defensive prowess just jumped ahead there. And Curl, missing her first free throw attempt of the season, she is looking to become the 4th Trojan in double digits in this game. And she'll knock down that one. Her and Skylar, the only 2 with double-digit trays so far in this one. So 59-35. Ball down low, passed ahead, just out of the reach there of Bollinger. And that'll not reset the shot clock?
They'll reset it.
Oh, it's Trojans ball. Okay. Jeez.
Nice break up.
Welcome to the beginning of the season, folks. Here's Baker.
Yeah, turnovers has been the theme of the game, and that's really played a huge difference in why the Trojans are up by 24 right now.
Absolutely. Shot clock winding down. Lontre, no good. Rebound by Watson. Watson with 5 points. Dropped a dime in the corner to Bremer. No good. Fight for the rebound. Bobbed around. Cormier tried to get in the action. And then Mulholland did, but she gives an errant pass ahead. Baker bobbles it. Regained by the Rattlers. Passed ahead. And down low inside. Finishes it strong. So wild action there, but Mina Dojovic gets her first bucket of the season and game.
Yeah, nice effort from the Rattlers there.
You can put on the board. 1, 2, 3 threes for Ava Curl.
It's going to give her 12 now in the game. Makes 4 Trojans now in double digits in this game, and that's going to make the coach happy.
Yes, it is. Nice spin and finish there by Grace Kinjin. That's her first. She's been trying really hard all game. Happy to see her get that bucket right there. You know, don't let the score fool you. The Trojans have came out fiercely in this one, no doubt about it. Led mainly by her, that young woman right there, missing her 20th shot there. But this Rattler team, they got some talent on this team. This is going to be a team I think that's going to find themselves as the season goes on, Brett.
I think so too, and I think as they come together as a unit, as you know, there's a lot of first-year players on it. And yeah, I think as the season goes around, they get more comfortable with each other. They work that ball around better. And the buckets will get easier as they continue to move the ball.
And platoon swaps on both sides, those hockey shifts.
You're getting your wish. I see Summer James in the name.
Summer James makes me feel good. Solid name. And we'll see what Summer can do. Not getting a chance to see Dove Cameron. She's not listed on the list. She was a player that I had heard some hype about, so not getting a chance to see Dove tonight. Or Messam, so no Messam watch. Defense staying tight. And shot clock winds down on the Rattlers. That is the second time that has happened. So 62-39 right now for the Trojans ahead. Here's Sellers. Strong take, can't get it. Fight for the rebound. Pryor goes up, can't get it to go. Gets the rebound back, gets it to Skylar. Skylar bobbled it. Has to reset the offense up. Shot clock winding down under 10 now. Skylar passed it back. Varga for 3, no good. Rebound by the Trojans again. Inside, Sellers can't get it to go. Another rebound for the Trojans. Ball batted around, and finally possession goes to the Rattlers. Trojans had about 4 opportunities, couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, multiple rebounds there on the offensive glass, but just unable to get that one to go. Especially for Essie Pryor, had a couple chances there, but there she comes back with a block on the other end. Huge play. She got 7 rebounds in this one.
Yeah, and blocking the other player right there with 7 rebounds in George. Been a battle down on the paint right there. Varga dishes it off. Tried to find Summer James there and not able to connect.
Still feels like summer here in Calgary, too.
It does. We're getting highs every single day, and it's continuing to next week. It's going to be up to 22 on Tuesday.
From mid-October.
Yeah.
Used to, seeing the kids in their winter coats when it comes to Halloween. Man, this year they might be in shorts,
Man, no kidding. You can get the perfect Ted Lasso short costume this year. Nice bucket there. Oh, no. Did it go in? It did. Okay.
It did, yeah.
That's
Seaborn. Nice bucket.
One of those trick shots that looks like, did it switch to the rim the other way, or? Nice take to the hole there. Can't get it to go.
It's one of those things, we're not courtside.
No.
Calling this game. We're up in the booth.
That has happened so many times, even being up here for the Dinos. You get to see sometimes, did that swipe the rim or go through the rim? 3-point knockdown. Nice tray there by Kristen Johnstone. 5 points for her now. She was over 2 before that, and now finally getting the knockdown. Won the second Rattler to get a tray in this game. 18-point lead. They got work to do as we're about to hit the 5-minute mark here in the 4th. Shot clock winding down. Skylar doing some work. Finds Sellers for the open tray. No good. Rebound by Pryor. Batted away. That'd probably be a reaching foul right there by Jones.
You know, midway through this final quarter, and Rattlers are up 9-4 in this quarter. They're playing a solid final frame. They, you know, probably not going to come away with the win at this point, but you know they're going to have some positives to take away from it.
Yeah, it's early in the season. You take positive vibes you have. Here's a tray for the Trojans. No good. Rebound by Jones. Jones just came into the game and now has 4 rebounds already. That one passed ahead to Jonker. She can't get it. Tough shooting night for Jonker in this one. 1 for 7. Baker comes into the game. Messam watch!
2022. Here we go.
2022 Messam watch. Nice ball ahead to Varga. Varga fake. Gets it down to go. Kyler Varga. Not the greatest stat game you're going to see from Varga, but that's okay. That's how these Trojans team are looking. 4 in double digits, and Varga with the fake and the finish, maybe the highlight of the game so far.
Yeah, off a brilliant outlet pass from Baker there.
Strong take there. And looking like we're going to have free throws for George, who's tied for the lead in points for the Rattlers with Holfort with 7 each. And so far she's 1 for 1 from the line in this game.
This is what I'm loving, though, from this Trojans team, though. You know, like you said, Varga's not having the greatest game on the stat sheet, but she's playing great in other areas, and there's other players who are picking up the slack offensively because there's so many scoring options for this Trojans team.
I mean, even for Skylar, you just look at the shooting numbers in this one. I would say Skylar's having an off night, having just 10.
Absolutely, and, I mean, she's got a bagel right now in the second half. She hasn't put up 1 point.
No. You know, Brooke, who's been great, is 6 of 20. Putting up Kobe shooting numbers.
Yeah, she's been putting up the rock a lot in this one.
64-46. 4:18 left here in the fourth. Varga, top of the key, guarded by Watson, who's had a nice game in her own right. Goes around. Kyler can't get it to finish. Well, pass off the fingertips there of Bremer, which is too bad because Bremer's had a nice second half.
Yeah, 3 of 6 from the field, 6 points, solid night, a couple steals.
Here's my underrated player of the game, though. I've loved what I've seen from Madison Pittman. She had that big 3 later when they kind of needed it. And defensively, I think she's been one of the most consistent players in this Rattler team.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not going to show with those rebounds,
No.
but she plays up top there, and she just closes out those lanes. And, yeah, she's had a great game. I like what I've seen from her.
Jay no good. Fight for the rebound. Baker goes up again, and this time she's fouled, so she'll go to the line. She's 3 from 4 so far for the line in this one. 4 rebounds now, 2 assists, 15 points. We look at some of the bigger or larger stats now. 17 steals on the game for the Trojans, Brett.
At least.
Yeah.
That's what it's on the stats, but it feels like more.
Tell me how this makes sense. 17 steals for the Trojans. 16 turnovers for Medicine Hat?
Are they not counting steals as turnovers? I don't know.
They are.
That seems
Yeah,
that doesn't quite add up there.
Yeah. Points in the paint so far, the Trojans 38 to the 24. And 13-second chance points right now for the Trojans in this one. 2 blocks for the Trojans. And facilitation of the ball has been key for the Trojans this time. 13 assists to the 9. 3, no good, air. Tracked down by Pittman. She gets to get it inside. Banging around in the paint. George gets her to go. Double digits for George now. 11 and 7 on the night for her. Probably your Medicine Hat player of the game.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt.
Messam hesitated. Passed it out. No good.
Folks, you're going to want to stick around after this one because we got the second half of this back-to-back coming up as the Rattlers and the Trojans going to go at it again, but on the men's side.
The men's team, they will have all eyes on them this year as they will be going for their 6th ACAC title. And look, obviously they want 6. There's no doubt about it. But the Nationals are right here in Calgary at the Jack. Heartbreak last year for the men of Troy. Looking for revenge. But I tell you, that team up north, that Keano team, and now they have the former Trojan Talib Ross, Sean Michael Clancy, a player of the year in his own right. the Keanu and Trojans matchup. They already had it in preseason. That's going to be the matchup to watch, and that's the really cool thing this year, that we're going to get to see North and South teams face each other in basketball, because we have not had that in years. So the ability to have that is going to be very exciting for both the men and for the women. But that Keanu matchup, circle that on your calendar.
Yeah, that's going to be something for sure. Absolutely brilliant ACAC final last year as Varga gets the steal.
And finish it strong.
Yeah, that was a fantastic provincial championship game last year. You were on the call.
Yep.
You got to see the Trojans bring home their 5th consecutive ACAC title.
Well, and the guy that missed that shot, Sean Michael Clancy, hooping the harm there. I got a chance to talk to him. He is hungry. He is ready to go. But if Marcus Masters and Charlie Connor and the rest of this team and Coach Marnie Berkey have something to say, they want that natty. There has been so many close national champions for the Trojans, and they're trying to finally top off this dynasty in Calgary sports. The winningest Calgary sports team in the last half a decade is the SAIT Trojans men's basketball team. The most dominant team in Calgary athletics is the SAIT men's basketball team, trying to top it off for the national championship. So Varga will bring it up now. Tip-off for that should be about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, a couple minutes after 8, I think.
Varga. Stolen away by Watson. So I'll ask Brett now, who are you going to go with? And we'll see where it lays, but who are you going with your players of the game from both sides?
I mean, it might be the easy choice, but I mean, I feel like you got to go with Baker and George. I mean, they might have they've led both of their teams in scoring in this one, and I mean, Baker has just facilitated play. Like, even though, like you said, she's had Kobe shooting numbers where she's been putting up a ton of shots and the percentage hasn't been there, she's still been facilitating for the Trojans, and she's been moving the ball around to everyone else, and everything just seems to go through Brooke Baker right now for the Trojans.
Yeah, 6 of 21 shooting right now, 0 for 5 from downtown, but 17 points for her, 4 rebounds right now. George has done a great job, 7 rebounds for her, 13 points, and a good job in the paint. As far as kind of you just go the surprise player of the game, I would give it to Pittman. I loved everything I see for Pittman. Again, it's not a stat sheet that's going to blow you up, and then on the Trojan side, I'd do it for Cormier. Cormier didn't really play a lot in the second half.
No, didn't really see her much. I think
but
one
I love
shift.
Vanessa Cormier's play.
Yeah, these first-year players have really kind of shown a lot.
Yeah, and for the Trojans now, they'll spend the next 6 weeks back on the road, and then they'll come here near the end of November, and Jermaine Cummings will be back in the broadcast, and you have Brett on that one for when the women come back here, right here on the ACAC TV. And then finally, if you were looking for Jermaine and I, that will be coming soon in 2023, but you got to wait. You got to wait.
Got more SAIT Trojans in action this weekend. We got the men in the hockey taking on Portage. That game just got underway over at Winsport.
Nice.
No update yet on the score, but and then men's and women's volleyball getting going tomorrow at Rally Point. It's a really exciting time to be a SAIT Trojan.
And the soccer team, the women's soccer team specifically, heartbreaking loss recently, but looking to get playoffs coming here.
Yep, both the men and the women had a really good weekend last weekend with both coming with back-to-back wins, and especially with a couple of huge wins on Sunday against Medicine Hat, where they really took it to them on the soccer pitch. So,
and as the game, it's coming to a close here, I'd like to thank all of the family, friend, and parents that tune into SAIT Trojan Productions, specifically also the Rattler broadcast, the Rattler friends and family that tuned in to watch. Really impressed by what your squad has, and I think good teams to come. This is the first year I've called Medicine Hat. They haven't had the name Rose Deba on the side, which was just a dominant player for a long time for them. There was a few others, but just a few names that had echoed throughout the last few years for the Rattlers, and so weird to not see them across the court. And when you're as old as a broadcaster as I am in the ACAC and been around here for 10 years, it's weird to see some of those names not rocking a Rattler jersey anymore. Nice take to the hole there by Bremer. They'll give her 8 points.
Solid game from Bremner, too.
Yeah.
That's another easy bucket off of a turnover, and she's made it count. And I like the patience she had there. She stopped, she faked the shot, and she just put it home easy. One final SAIT shout out as the golf teams are getting prepared for nationals next week in
got the weather.
Ontario.
It got the weather. Well, I don't know what the weather in Ontario is. That's very cool.
Heard it's going to be nice.
Lots of traveling this year for the teams, I think, is obviously we're still in COVID right now, but a little bit lighter with things, right? And I've seen the men and women Dinos team. They're traveling right now. They've had some nice trips. They faced some NCAA teams. And it's been the one cool thing that everything's a little bit more open. Get to see some of these. Get to have more fans at the game, so that's been nice. And the Trojans have Varga here trying to look for maybe one more bucket. Ball goes out, and Trojans got the experience. Their first game here at the Jack. A nice little crowd here to experience them. We'll see what the men draw in for their crowd.
Yeah, happy to see the fans come out and make the trek from SAIT to Calgary. To the University of Calgary, excuse me.
And that will do it. You can put it in the win column. The women of Troy pick up their first W of the season, winning 72-52, having 4 women in double digits, including Brooke Baker, who had 17 points to lead the way. George led the way 4-minute hat with 13 and 7. Ava Curl knocked down 3 trays for 14 points for her. Kaylee Sellers shot 5 of 15 for 12 points and 6 rebounds for herself. And Skylar McDonald with 10 points as well. Pryor doing it in the paint, 8 and 6 for her. Bremer really found it for the Rattlers down the stretch. And now we wait for our ACAC players of the game.
The Alberta Colleges Athletic Conference and the State Trojans are pleased to recognize tonight's players of the game. Tonight's player of the game for the Medicine Hat College Rattlers, number 14, Sheridan George.
And no shock there, George, 13 and 7, getting the player of the game for the Rattlers, and now for your Trojans.
Tonight's player of the game for your own State Trojans, number 0, Brooke Baker.
And Brooke Baker getting the player of the game, as we mentioned. Shooting numbers 6 of 21, but she made them all count. 4 rebounds for her, 2 dimes, 2 assists, 17 points for her. The Trojans, they win this one. They pick up their first win on the season. Trojans will celebrate their first W and look for many more to come. Now, like I said, they'll hit the road for the next 6 weeks before they come back here to the Jack. We'll have that right here on ACAC TV for you. But coming up next, we have the 5-time ACAC champion, the Men of Troy, taking on the Rattlers. You can catch it here on ACAC TV. We will see you then. Until next time, folks, for Brett, for our producer Rob, and Jesse on the camera. Until next time, folks, cheers and enjoy the games, people.